What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got some blue and green Digimon to talk about, or really green and blue. It's more green and blue than blue and green. And we've got a tamer as well, which is also a blue and green tamer. These things are starting to look rather like we need to be chatting about them. So, let's start off having a little bit of a look at Leomon X Antibody. Come on, who doesn't like Leomon? Wow, we're assuming there's some kind of deletion thing going on, because it's Leomon, right? Leomon apparently gets deleted, that's its thing, which honestly sounds a little bit sad, but we can worry about that another day. So what we've got here is a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 5,000 power. The 5 to play normally is quite high, but then the 5,000 power is a little bit high as well. I am not loving the 5 cost to play normally, I'll be perfectly honest with you, but because it doesn't have a play skill, and I can just ignore and Digivolve, it makes me feel better. Not good, but it does make me feel a little bit better. So yay, I suppose. And it is a proper dual colour blue and green Digimon, or green and blue Digimon. It is both green and blue, and it can Digivolve from both green and blue, which is very important. We need to know these things, ladies and gentlemen. This kind of stuff's pretty gosh darned important. But what does it actually do? Well, it's an X Antibody card, so you probably know by now. You can Digivolve from Leomon for 0 cost. And that's a standard thing, right? All of these X Antibody cards can Digivolve from the non-X Antibody form. And generally it's 0 memory, but when you get up to the really high levels, they might make you pay a tiny bit. But this is something which is pretty standard, honestly. We see it a lot. Now, one thing I do need to remind you guys of, and this is really important, it doesn't Digivolve from a card with Leomon in its name for 0 memory. It Digivolves from Leomon for 0 memory. And that is a big, big difference. So, any card that doesn't have Leomon as its entire name, but has Leomon as part of its name, won't work here. That is very, very important. We good? Awesome. Now, of course, this is the stage where we need to look at Leomon, see if any of them have any really nice inheritable skills, and the answer is no. As in, we've literally never had a Leomon with an inheritable skill. That's never happened, so sure, you can, in the future, maybe have inheritable skills you're gaining through your Digivolution, but not yet, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry. But when this Digimon would be deleted in battle, you may play a Leomon from its Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. Okay, that's a reason to play it. Again, this is not a play skill or anything like that, so all you need to do here is just Digivolve up like normal for 2 memory, and you're good to go. Nice. That is a very good thing. And then you got a Leomon for free when you get deleted. It's a Leomon, you're going to have a deletion skill. So you're not having any inheritable skills, but you are playing one for free. And you've got the level 4 Leomon from BT9. When you're deleted, you gain 2 memory. That could work, ladies and gentlemen. That could be a fun one. Now, it's annoying that you cannot attack the Digimon the turn you play it. Otherwise, you could attack, get deleted, play this, attack, get deleted, really start powering these skills up. But let's make no bones about it. You still get this skill. You just have to wait a turn to actually use it. Of course, the Leomon from BT4 that's got a Digivolution skill is no good here for fairly obvious reasons. And then we've got the Leomon from EX2 that while you have a tamer in play, this Digimon gains blocker. And on deletion, you gain 2 memory and draw a card. Now, this one is of particular interest to me because you play it as a blocker and then it's there on your board ready to block on your opponent's next turn. And that, to me, makes a big difference. I attack with Leomon X Antibody, I get deleted. It's not the end of the world, because I've probably taken out a security card, so I'm swapping one of their security cards for my Leomon X Antibody. That's fine. I'm willing to make that trade. But then it's actually better than that, because I've now got this Leomon from EX2 in play, and the Leomon from EX2's got blocker, so now on my opponent's turn, they are facing down a blocker which they weren't expecting to be facing down. Although I suppose if they played against a deck, they might be. But you see what I mean here. You get an extra blocker on the board, so you've been deleted, but it doesn't really feel like you've been deleted. And because you paid no memory to Digivolve up from Leomon to Leomon X Antibody, I am a big fan of this. I do think the one from EX2 is the best one to go for here, and I do think that this is going to be a very nice combo. I love this. I think this is cool. And like I've said for some of the other smaller X Antibody cards, I really do think that if you're playing Leomon anyway, this is a no-brainer. The fact that you can Digivolve up, get deleted, essentially you turn Leomon into Leomon X Antibody, attack to take out a security, get deleted, and, you know, either you get deleted and you play a Leomon or you don't get deleted. Either way, you've still got a useful level 4 on the field. I adore this. You basically get to Digivolve up for 0 memory and attack the stack with no downside. Can't be the only one that thinks that's awesome. But we've also got Pangemon X Antibody. 7 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 7,000 power. All extremely standard for your level 5s. It is exactly what we would expect. And what we've got going on here is another green-blue Digimon and another Digimon that can Digivolve for 0 memory from Panjyamon. And we should be expecting this, right? These X Antibody cards, this is what they do. But I really do think this is a big thing. I really do think this helps a lot. I think this is great. I think it opens up so many more doors and so many more options. For what it's worth, the only Panumon we've ever actually seen is the one from BT6. When you are attacking once per turn, gain a memory. That's alright. You're paying nothing to Digivolve, and then if you attack, you gain a memory because of that inheritable skill, so you end up with more memory than you started. It's not a bad combo. I don't think it's quite on the level of the Leomon combo we've been doing, I'm sorry, but it's still kind of cool. Now, interestingly enough, this card is also treated as Leomon, which is important for some things. And on all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted in a battle, you may play a Leomon from this Digimon's Digivolution sources without paying its cost. Now, it's important to note it is a Leomon, not a card with Leomon in its name. But this is still cool. It's exactly the same skill as I just talked about on Leomon X Antibody, so we don't need to talk too much more about it. I've kind of said my piece. I really like it. It means that when you're attacking the stack and you go down, there's much less downside. Now here, if you go down, you're swapping a level 5 for a level 4, so you have gone a little bit backwards, which is a little bit sad, but it's really not as bad as having your whole Digimon deleted, so let's not try and be too upset about it, shall we? And I love this. I still think the one from EX2, which is a blocker, is definitely the right way to go. I think that's where we need to be rolling here. And sure, you're going from a level 5 down to a level 4, and that's not a perfect situation, but I really don't think it's the end of the world here. I like this. I like this very much indeed. So I really like these two. I think there is a lot to love here. And I do think this is going to be the kind of thing which is going to make a pretty big difference. I think being able to play Digimon for free on deletion, especially when you're going from a level 4 to another level 4, I think that's a pretty big deal. And I think that is going to help you out massively, and I think it is awesome. But I did tell you we have a tamer to talk about as well, and frankly it would be a little bit rude of me if we didn't talk about the tamer as well. And what we've got here is Mimi Tachikawa and Joe Kiddo. 4-cost tamer, but it's a double tamer. They're pretty much always 4-cost. And obviously as a security card, you can pay it without playing. That's very standard. At the start of your turn, if you have a suspended Digimon, gain a memory. If your opponent has a suspended Digimon, gain a memory. So like so many of these dual tamers, you can get 2 memory at the start of your turn, which is a good thing, but it's not guaranteed, shall we say. You've got to work for it a little bit, and it's not necessarily in your control. Having said that, if your opponent has no suspended Digimon, then that means they either have no Digimon out, or they've all got reboot, or they've all not attacked the previous turn. It is likely that either you're gaining 2 memory here, or your opponent's in a bad position and you don't care about gaining the second memory. And then on all turns, when your green or blue Digimon deletes only the opposing Digimon in battle, i.e. deletes them and survives, you may suspend this tamer and draw a card. I like this. I really like this. Basically, at the start of your turn, it should be giving you 2 memory, which is good. And if you delete a Digimon, and again, that's not attacking a stack, that's attacking a Digimon, you draw a card. Certainly, any deck that's got piercing, and I'm sorry, I'm still playing around with Bancho Stingmon because I still love Bancho Stingmon. It doesn't work all the time, but oh man, when it works, it's so gosh darn satisfying. But if you're playing around with any green deck with piercing, and there are a bunch of green decks with piercing, this is a no-brainer. If you're not playing piercing, then you're going to end up in a situation where you can delete a Digimon to draw a card, or you can tap the stack to take out a security, but it's not necessarily, it's not always going to work. And that's a bit of a problem, unfortunately. That is a little bit of a problem. So, yeah. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We did our best. But certainly in some decks, any green piercing decks, or blue piercing decks for that matter, are going to absolutely adore this card. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I think about all these new cards. I really like Leomon X Antibody, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching What's He Plays.